The European Union is one of the biggest, most dynamic markets on the entire planet. But what stops it from just becoming a corporate free-for-all? Well, today, we're going to crack open the EU's official rulebook, its 2024 Competition Policy Report, to figure out who the market's referee is and, more importantly, how they make the calls.
You know that feeling, right? Whether you're playing a game with friends or watching sports, that nagging sense that someone has an unfair advantage, it's just the worst.
Well, in the world of business and economics, that game sometimes really is rigged. You've got giant companies that can try to bend the rules or team up to squeeze out smaller rivals. And that's exactly why you need a referee on the field, someone to keep the game fair for everyone.
And let's be clear, the playing field we're talking about here is absolutely massive. It's the European single market, this incredible economic arena that connects hundreds of millions of people with millions of businesses every single day.
So who is this all-important referee? Who's got the whistle? Well, it's the European Commission. And in this context, its job is to make sure competition stays healthy and that nobody is cheating the system.
So how does this referee actually enforce the rules of the game? What's in their toolkit? Turns out they have a pretty specific rulebook and a few key plays to keep things on the level.
The whole rulebook really boils down to three main things. First, you've got antitrust and cartels. That's all about stopping outright foul play, like companies getting together to fix prices. Second is merger control, which is like making sure one super team can't just buy up all its rivals and kill the league. And third, there's state aid, which is about making sure governments aren't unfairly propping up their favorite companies.
All right, let's dive into that first job, calling out the fouls. This is where the Commission gets right in there to tackle cartels and other sneaky behaviors that are designed to kill off healthy competition.
And wow, this referee has been busy. Just look at this scoreboard from last year. What's really interesting to me is how many more antitrust investigations there are compared to cartel cases. That tells you the Commission is spending a huge amount of its time looking at how dominant companies might be abusing their power, not just those secret backroom deals.
So, what kind of foul play are we talking about here? It's basically covered by two main rules from the treaty. Article 101 is about banning agreements between companies, like a bunch of rivals all secretly agreeing to jack up their prices at the same time. Article 102 is different. It's about what a single, really powerful company does to unfairly stomp on its smaller competitors.
And this isn't just some abstract legal theory. This stuff can hit you right in the wallet. Take this example. The Commission recently investigated 6 massive Norwegian salmon producers. Why? They were suspected of fixing prices. And when that happens, the cost of everyday stuff, like the fish you put in your shopping cart, can get artificially jacked up. And the penalties for breaking these rules? Oh, they are massive. I mean, just look at the landmark Google shopping case. The company got hit with a staggering €2.4 billion fine. The foul? The Commission found that Google was using its super-dominant search engine to give its own shopping service an illegal leg up, basically hiding its competitors from you and me.
Okay, so besides blowing the whistle on active fouls, the referee also has to prevent any one team from getting so powerful that it just ruins the game for everybody else. And that's where the second tool, merger control, comes in. Anytime two big companies want to merge and become one giant company, the Commission has to review the deal. You can see from this chart that most of the time it's no problem. Those are the simplified cases. But a crucial few get a much deeper look, the interventions, just to make absolutely sure the new, bigger company won't mean higher prices or fewer choices for us consumers. And the scale of this is just wild. In just 1 year, the Commission reviewed almost 400 separate merger deals. Think about that. Each one of those is a checkup to protect the health of the market and keep things balanced for the long run.
Now for the third tool in the referee's kit, and honestly, this might be the trickiest one, state aid. This is all about when governments give a boost to companies, and sometimes the referee's call here can be pretty surprising.
So, state aid is a bit complicated. It becomes illegal when a government gives a selective advantage to one company or industry. So, a special tax break that only one company can get, that could totally distort competition across the whole market. But here's the twist. Not all government help is illegal. For example, there was this case with a Spanish tax system for shipbuilding. The EU court actually ruled it was not illegal state aid. And you might be asking, why? Well, because the benefit wasn't selective. It was open to any investor that met the rules.
This really breaks it down perfectly. See, on the left, you've got a government tipping the scales for just one player. That's a foul. But on the right, the support is available to everyone who qualifies, which keeps the playing field level. The magic word, the huge difference is selective. It's a really subtle but incredibly important call for the referee to make.
So, the referee is busy calling fouls, making sure the teams stay balanced, and making these tough judgment calls on government support. But the game itself, it is changing under their feet faster than ever before.
And the biggest new playing field, as the report points out again and again, is the digital economy. The rise of these giant tech platforms creates all sorts of new challenges for competition, from who controls app stores to how our data is used. The whole game has changed.
And you can't play a new game with an old rulebook, right? So the referee has had to adapt. We're seeing new regulations like the Digital Markets Act, which is designed specifically for these new digital challenges, and the Foreign Subsidy Regulation, which looks at unfair advantages coming from outside the EU.
Ultimately, even though the core ideas of fairness and competition are the same, technology is just constantly redrawing the lines on the field. So the defining challenge for the years ahead is really this: how does the referee's rulebook keep evolving to make sure the game stays fair for every single player, no matter how big or small?